Obesity is America's deadliest epidemic.
This is America.
74% of us are overweight.
In the weight loss wars, this Hims and Hers commercial making a Super Bowl-sized splash.
This system wasn't built to help us. It was built to keep us sick and stuck.
The ad taking aim at the weight loss industry, touting the company's own versions of drugs used for weight loss as a less expensive alternative to GLP-1 medications like Ozempic and Wegovy.
They're affordable, doctor-trusted.
Hims and Hers, the company at the center of the controversy, selling, in addition to brand-name drugs, compounded drugs, copies of FDA-approved medications that don't go through the same rigorous FDA evaluation as the approved drug.
It is technically legal to get a compounded version of semaglutide, and that is because there is a shortage of these medications.
The controversy surrounding the Super Bowl ad just the latest chapter in a craze that has been sweeping not just Hollywood.
Oprah, stay right here.
Television icon Oprah Winfrey revealing she's using medication for weight loss.
But the entire country.
Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro are drugs experiencing a big surge in use for weight loss.
Every girl I know in LA is on Ozempic.
So many dramatic weight loss transformations happening right before our eyes.
I lost 2 pounds this week.
The Hims and Hers Super Bowl ad reigniting the conversation surrounding compounded drugs used for weight loss.
FDA-approved medications go through a very rigorous protocol to bring the drugs to market. Compounded products haven't been through the same level of really rigorous study for many years, enrolling thousands and thousands of patients.
The FDA writing on its website that compounded drugs are not FDA approved. Quote, this means the agency does not review compounded drugs for safety, effectiveness, or quality. But it's what was missing in the ad that's causing an uproar, both with drug companies and Congress. 2 senators saying in a letter to the FDA, nowhere in this promotion is there any side effect disclosure, risk, or safety information as would be typically required in a pharmaceutical advertisement.
It was an ad that might appeal to the emotions of people who sometimes feel like they're at the end of their rope and might feel some kind of emotional tie to an ad that promises quite a bit, that makes it seem easy, that makes it seem affordable, all the things that any person would look for, but does not, make sure that the public is aware that this is something that they should stop and think about.
Novo Nordisk, makers of the FDA-approved Ozempic and Wegovy, releasing this ad in response to the backlash, writing, do you really know what you're injecting into your body?
These are products that are compounded. They are not regulated. They are not approved, and therefore constitute a significant safety concern to the public.
Hims and Hers defending their ad.
This is Americans affected by a medical disease. And it's getting worse. And I don't believe the company did anything wrong. There are very strict laws on what you need to say in a commercial and whatnot. I do believe in this commercial, no drug was ever mentioned by name.
The company's head of weight loss saying every batch of their compounded drugs goes through an analysis before ever being sent to a patient.
The batch that you have, you can look in the app and get a comprehensive look at all of the tests that are included. Hims and Hers is able to give your full comprehensive approach. We have recipes, we have education put together by psychologists, on top of all the other pieces, having a clinician available to be messaged 24/7.
Since they've become widely available, newer types of GLP-1 drugs have been transforming lives. Stephanie Smith says she feels more confident than ever, working out side by side with her husband since starting on Mounjaro.
Weight loss for me has definitely been life-changing. I knew that being in my 40s and gaining 45 pounds and struggling to get it off, I was headed down a pretty unhealthy path. But now, just because I feel good, I have a lot more self-confidence.
Her doctor prescribing the medication to treat obesity. She took it weekly for nearly 5 months.
My body was hurting. I couldn't do the physical activities that I wanted to do. Like, I knew I had to do something dramatic.
A former bodybuilder, she never thought she'd end up struggling with her weight.
I didn't like to look in the mirror. I didn't like to clothes shop. I would try and go swimming with my kids, hated putting on a swimsuit. Hated going on vacation to the beach with my family, so it was tough. Okay, so when I saw you last time, we decreased your dose.
A nurse practitioner in Draper, Utah, Stephanie runs a med spa with the Pilates studio attached.
Okay, any issues with diet?
No. Did you get the labs that I sent you?
Yes.
Okay.
They look amazing. All right, just come have a seat. We offer compounded versions of semaglutide and tirzepatide, and I also prescribe Mounjaro, Ozempic, Wegovy, and the new one, Zepbound.
At her med spa, she says business is booming, with scores of patients hoping to take drugs used for weight loss. She says she's happy to offer them the alternative.
Any side effects? Constipation? No. Nausea? No puking?
No.
Stephanie saying she relies on a reputable compounding pharmacy, and so far she reports no issues.
We have an armamentarium of medications that can be used for obesity that are very effective. So definitely not a one-size-fits-all approach. It has to be very thoughtful. And then, obesity treatment is long-term because this is a chronic disease. So it's absolutely critical to find a care team that you really trust and you build a relationship with.
Like all drugs, these can come with side effects.
The main side effects associated with both Wegovy and with Zepbound are nausea, vomiting, stomach upset, constipation, diarrhea.
Now 48, Stephanie saying she's able to keep the weight off with only an occasional maintenance dose of compounded tirzepatide. In the end, whether patients choose to take the brand name FDA-approved drugs or the compounded version, experts recommend that patients do their homework before taking any medication and consult with a doctor.
I think most people don't recognize that obesity is really a complex, heterogeneous, progressive, refractory, meaning difficult to treat disease. And so to treat obesity effectively, it's incredibly important to see a provider who is well trained in obesity medicine and can do a thorough evaluation of every individual patient.
Thanks to Deborah. For much more on this story, watch Impact by Nightline's Skinny Confessions After Ozempic, streaming now on Hulu.